Now, here are your hosts, Hank Davis and Mello Betts.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the NFL Fan Podcast. It's Mello's NFL Weekly. This week, we're your refuge from Manti Te'o and Lance Armstrong. Joining me on the line, as always, he is my partner in crime. He's the professor of sports and the gambling guru himself. He's Mello Betts. How are you, my friend?
I was good until you mentioned those two soap operas on our show, dude.
I was just stating that's the precursor to tune in to this week because you don't have to hear about them.
You got to have an escape. This is true.
You aren't kidding. I mean, it's a firestorm. But there's a lot going on right now in the world of the NFL. So shall we just jump right into the news?
Let's do it.
It's time for the news, a roundup of all the biggest headlines.
Now, you talk about going to prom or having your outfit picked out for prom and then and having no one to go with. Let's talk about Los Angeles, Mello.
Los Angeles.
The NFL has not played a game in LA since 1994, and they're not going to play anytime soon. Because at the earliest they could play would be in 2014 because no NFL team has filed for relocation. The deadline is February 15th, and it just doesn't appear anybody's going to sign the dotted line. Mello, do we have a problem here?
I can't say Houston, but I can say LA, we have a problem. I'm going to stick to my guns on this. I don't know why you have to force a team into LA. I just don't understand it.
Second largest media market in the country.
And blah, blah, blah. But look at it. I mean, there's no guarantee anywhere that people are going to support a team. And there's just so much other things to do. I'll say it again, and here I go on my soapbox. If you don't have a quality product, they will not support it. And you'll just have that stadium half empty. All
right. Those of you who are Xbox fans, Mello jumped on his soapbox already this early in the show. Achievement unlocked. There it is. Achievement unlocked. Let's go to the coaching carousel. Let's go to something that makes even less sense than that first story. The Philadelphia Eagles hired Chip Kelly on Wednesday. This is 10 days after he said, "Hey, buddy, I'm staying at Oregon." So he's the 21st coach in team history, replacing Andy Reid. This made no sense, Mello. Did you know anything about this prior to that story breaking?
No, because I took him at his word with I'll cash my $2.8 million checks in Oregon, and I didn't look back after that. When you make a statement like that, and then blindsided when this just in, breaking news. I'm like, well, wait a minute, that means he lied? He lied to people.
Oh, no. And this is becoming a trend with the college coaches to me, is they feel like they're in this tough situation where, man, I can't tell the truth. If I tell the truth, then everybody will know that I'm ready to leave or I'm, you know what I mean? It's like, tell the truth because now you look even worse.
Yeah, it does. The truth will set you free. So I think if you just, it's your life is what it comes down to. So who can really fault you for doing what? But when you twist it up with lies and deceit and stuff, then you are going to make yourself look worse than what you really are.
Because in my opinion, if you're a coach that's honest about this type of a situation and you go, hey, I want an opportunity to go to the NFL, who knows? Maybe 10, 15 years down the road, you come back and save the program, when you're done chasing dreams, or something.
That's called not burning your bridges behind you.
These guys don't know anything about it. The Chicago Bears ended their search for a new coach on Wednesday, and they hired Mark Trestman of the Montreal Alouettes. Mello, you had to go to the CFL there to get your coach. How does that sit with you?
Wow, that blew me away. I mean, I'd heard rumors of it beforehand that they were going to hire him.
Yeah.
When they really pulled the trigger on it, I was like, they must know something. I don't know about the cat, really, because I don't cover the CFL. I used to, but I haven't in a long time. So I really don't have much background on the cat.
And here's what bothers me about him is he's been an assistant with 8 NFL teams, but he's been out of the league for 8 years. That's where you start to raise a little red flag with me.
You're getting a couple red flags on that one?
and I go, hey, I'd like to challenge and see this again. But just that bouncing around, and then why weren't you in the NFL last year?
Now, are your red flags challenge flags or the other kind of red flags?
Enough with the flag business. It doesn't really matter what sort of flag I was using.
I see where you're going with this. Out for eight different teams, why didn't you get an opportunity sooner? Yeah, those are all reasonable questions.
I would hope that somebody has good answers for those, and how come we don't know about them? I don't know. So that one right there is the most peculiar hire of all, because it doesn't seem like you're really replacing the man that you lost with something that's so special and coveted.
Yeah, I don't see what the big deal is. I don't even know what is his expertise here anyway.
Quarterbacks.
Oh, okay. Well, good luck with Jay, because he's going to do whatever he wants.
I said quarterbacks, not Jay Cutler. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh.
Former Denver Broncos offensive coordinator Mike McCoy. He's the real McCoy.
Okay.
He has become the Chargers' new head coach. Now, this one is okay with me. This one makes a little bit of sense, except for you just tried the same song and dance with the coach before him. It makes, it makes all the sense if you want to stay on that same trajectory that you were on. But I'm hoping you want to go in a little different direction.
One might think they want to go in a little different direction.
Any thoughts on the real McCoy?
Hey, we'll see. There's always talent out there. You're playing in a division that maybe it's going to start to be up and coming, but you still got a shot at it. I mean, when is Kansas City and the Raiders going to really be legit here? So. I mean, I'm just saying. Yeah, so
it's fair. That's a fair question.
I think you got a good opportunity. I think you got good resources there, but I don't know if he's going to be able to, handle this. And is the GM going to work well with this cat too, or is he going to be, one of those hands-on guys, or how's this all going to play out? I'm not sure.
And then the Jacksonville Jaguars, they hired Seattle defensive coordinator Gus Bradley as head coach. This one I like because you weren't getting anything done, in the other direction, so you might as well bring in this guy who we seen his work was pretty darn good this year. And
yeah,
this could be a good hire. I mean, what do you really have to lose in Jacksonville?
Yeah, this is true. You're doing nothing but looking up when you head to Jacksonville, that's for sure.
And then Arizona, this is my favorite hire out of all the hires in this, well, I almost said off season, but it's still the season, is Arizona. They got Bruce Arians. And here's a guy that actually proved something this year. You know what I'm saying? He coached in the stead of the real Colts coach. Went 9-3. He kind of was auditioning for this role. And this is my favorite one out of all of them. Do you agree or disagree?
Oh, yeah. This one makes complete sense because what's the problem in Arizona? The quarterback play. And who was this guy? He was Big Ben's guy. Big Ben was not that happy about him leaving Pittsburgh anyway.
No.
So I think it's a great opportunity. The only thing that I fear is he's going to get out to Arizona and try to build some kind of Aryan nation.
Touche, my friend. Touche. A week after hiring Rob Chudzinski as their new head coach. On the reference you gave last week that I didn't understand until after the show. The Browns added, as we suspected, former Chargers head coach Norv Turner to be their offensive coordinator. Now, here you go. Here you go, right here. Here you go. This is the scenario that I can see a situation in Cleveland working. As if you can get behind some good coordinators. And then, I mean, if you pull off an 8-8 season, you're going to look like a genius.
I'm saying that's my Super Bowl. I'll break out my gear again. That's my Super Bowl.
500 is Super Bowl.
That's winning the Super Bowl.
No, pretty much. That's the closest they're going to come. And then here's where we get into the dicey topic that we got to, it seems like once a year now we have to bring up, or twice a year, as we already talked about it once this year. Former Chicago Bears coach Lovie Smith failed to land a head coaching job, so he's prepared to sit out this 2013 season because he's not going to be a coordinator anywhere. So he prefers to be a head coach. He auditioned in Philly, San Diego, and Buffalo, and all those teams went in different directions. Mello, this is where we get into that dicey area of the racism or race relations and all that stuff. But the only thing I will say is if you're a team that is trying to turn something around and you know Lovie Smith has a laxed demeanor, you might not think that's the way to go. What are your thoughts?
Oh, boy. He is such... I'm not going to say a smoozer, but why do all these players love him so much? I mean, it was my understanding that there has not been a more upset NFL locker room after he got canned.
Really?
I'm talking card tables turned over, and they put the big hush on it afterwards, but that did get out. Those players were not happy about that. So he's got something that players love, and I would look at him as a guy that can get us to, if you're one of these bottom feeder teams, get us to some kind of security, some kind of stability here. And then if we need to upgrade after that. But, I mean, he did get Chicago to a Super Bowl. How good is Chicago really going to ever be? I mean, are they going to spend huge money on players all the time or, to be successful? Or how are they going to do this?
I don't know, but switching to a budget type coach just doesn't seem like the answer. You know what I mean? That's somebody that you go dig out of the CFL for a song and a dance. That just doesn't seem like the answer.
Well, we live in a society of what's the next greatest thing. If this guy can do it, then everybody will want to rob coaches from the CFL. Just like this new college thing where somehow these guys are going to all turn out to be super great pro coaches.
Well, he's going to be in for a real doozy when he sees how wide the field is.
Ooh.
All right. But I would love to hear what the listeners have to say. What are you guys' thoughts on minority hiring? I mean, ultimately, it's up to the owner. You can't go in there and force. I can't say, let's put it in podcasting terms. I can't go to Leo Laporte from the Twit.tv network and say, you're forced to hire Hank Davis because you don't have any black people on your staff. You know what I mean? You can't do that. I understand that why the rule's in place. But if teams are just going to go interview somebody and then not give them a chance, what's the point?
Did those teams at least send him a nice card for saying thank you for helping us through the Rooney Rule?
Personal foul. Unnecessary roughness on that last comment. Automatic first down.
There's no way I could not throw that
flag. I thought I was being nice.
Look, even if there's a replacement host sitting here, he's not going to let you say that.
Oh, I thought I had it by you. I really did.
If there were two replacement hosts on this show, one of them would be signaling touchdown, the other would be signaling incomplete.
Can I challenge that? Where's my red flag?
You can, but it's going to be a penalty because if you try to challenge when I throw that, no.
Oh, forget. I'll just take them. Whatever. Let's move on to the next play. I'm like a DB.
Beat me up on Twitter. All right. Let's switch our gears to the Pittsburgh Steelers. So their general manager, Kevin Colbert, he said Wednesday, man, the gap between the Steelers and the four teams that are still alive in the playoffs is significant and needs to be addressed in the next six months. Listen to this pattern, Mello. Does Pittsburgh Steelers have a pattern of missing the playoffs every 3 years? So 2000, 2003, 2006, 2009, 2012. Any thoughts on that weirdness?
I never would have believed that. That's weirdness.
That's superstitious.
Do they have is that how their salary cap every 3 years they're set up to gut things, or what are we doing here?
I think their formula is this.
Our formula is this. We go out, we hit people in the mouth.
And that is boxing. That's not really football.
That shouldn't cost a lot. Shouldn't be hard to motivate people either, I would think.
Now, your favorite guy, what do you refer to him as? Peyton Manning's old guy? Peyton Manning's old
Ben Franklin.
Ben Franklin. Okay, there he is. Tom Moore. He says he wants to be an offensive coordinator again, Mello. He's 74 years old. Do you want him back in the game?
Oh my goodness. With the knowledge he's bringing from the 1800s, are you kidding me?
Oh, buddy. All right.
He's seen it. He has literally seen the
personal
complete
foul.
Evolution of football.
Unnecessary roughness on that last comment. Automatic first down.
This is your worst endeavor ever.
At what point am I getting kicked out of the game here?
I can't wait
I can't touch them. I'm looking at my coach telling him I can't touch anybody.
I can't wait till Roger Goodell gets his hands on you.
Oh, I got more after the fact penalties too.
You're
Plus fines.
You're gonna be staring Roger Goodell in the face. But I love Tom Moore. Don't get me wrong. But at 74, do you think he's got a lot more to offer here? I know there's some old coordinators out there, though.
I'd say just to have him around your young guys, coaches that are coming up, to be able to pick his brain, a guy with that kind of knowledge. I'd like him around. I think he's still got it.
Okay. We'll see. And I wouldn't be shocked if Denver takes a flyer on him. All right. The Broncos have promoted Corey Undlin to secondary coach, replacing Ron Miles, who coached the defensive backs under John Fox for the last 4 seasons at various locales. Mello, is this really a knee-jerk reaction to the one play that they give up?
Yes, it is.
That is so stupid to me.
It is. This is appeasing the fans is what this is called, because this will make – I don't see how this is any kind of an upgrade in this. He's not responsible for Champ Bailey getting old. He's not responsible for Baltimore finally doing what they should have been doing all year, which is trying to go vertical on people. He's not responsible for that.
I couldn't believe this. When I seen this, I was like, what is going on with this, team? Why are they doing that? Just somebody's got to be punched.
Heads are going to roll after something. Somebody's got to get canned over this, and it's certainly just to appease the fans. That's all it is.
That is such a travesty to me.
Cosmetic move at best.
And here's something I wanted to switch gears to was the NFL draft, the 2013 NFL draft. So this is, again, going to be a record number of underclassmen. So in 2011, we seen 56 underclassmen. 2012, 65. And then allegedly so far this year, we're going to see 74.
Wow.
Probably more than that. This is ridiculous. What is going on?
People want to get paid. These institutions, it's coming out, the dirt that goes on at these places and stuff. So these kids are thinking, get in and get out and get paid legally before it all comes down on you.
You know what? And I think a lot of colleges, they're going to have to switch how they do business. And I'm not saying that anybody's been cheating, but we've seen people get caught.
Right.
And they're going to have to change how this, you know what I mean? It's going to have to go back to the old way of, you know what? We'd love to sweeten the deal for you to come here, but you're going to have to come here because you're getting a free education.
Well,
and all the strippers that you can fit in your dorm room.
Oh, boy. No, I just think you're on a slippery slope here. When you're talking about these numbers on the rise like that, you got to be careful. No matter how powerful the NFL is, if you start eating your young, that's gonna diminish the quality of the product on the field.
Isn't that cannibalism too?
Yeah.
All right. I just don't want to do that. Oh, no, the last news story I have. This is from an interview with Aaron Rodgers. He said that the read option offense is the buzz of the NFL right now, but it's going to fade away just like the Wildcat formation did before it. Mello, does Aaron Rodgers have a good point there?
Yes, he does, because when you're talking about the Wildcat, the read option, let's see, the old run and shoot. You had to have specific players to run those, and we're not stamping them out just every day here. So it's going to be very limited to who all can do this because of the talent pool it takes to run these kind of offenses. So he is correct with that.
All right, Mello, shall we switch gears to what has fast become the most favorite segment of the show? That's Not Football.
Oh, yes.
That's Not Football. And folks, you can get your That's Not Football logo t-shirts at NFLFanPodcast.com. Just head there. We have 2 different size logos on t-shirts. You got to check them out. All right. Denver Mayor Michael Hancock insists he's not trying to renege on a bet after he injured his leg. Hancock lost a bet with Baltimore Mayor Stephanie Blake that requires him to perform a linebacker Ray Lewis's signature pre-dance a pregame dance after the Broncos lost to the Ravens. Mello?
What is this, Dance Night in America? That's not football.
Brett Favre is keeping his arm loose by playing dodgeball. Yes, if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a Brett Favre thrown dodgeball. He's playing in a tournament at the Temple Baptist Church in Hadesburg. Mello?
As hard as he can throw the ball, that is not fair, and that is not football.
I would not want to get hit by one of those. I would just not. I don't want that to happen. That's on my
He's not going
Christmas
to accidentally hit you in the head here, guys.
Oh, gosh. Concussions in dodgeball. The beauty pageant queen who shot to social media stardom during the BCS championship game is back in front of cameras, and she's going to be part of the NFL's title game. Former Miss Alabama USA Catherine Bell will serve as a correspondent for Inside Edition leading up to the Super Bowl. Now, Mello, if you're not familiar with what transpired there, let's just go to this.
You see that lovely lady there? She does go to Auburn, I want to admit that. But she also, Miss Alabama, and that's A.J. McCarron's girlfriend, okay? And right there on the right is Dee Dee Bonner. That's A.J.'s mom. Wow, I'm telling you, quarterbacks, you get all the good-looking women. What a beautiful woman.
Wow, A.J.'s doing some things right down in
So if you're a
Tuscaloosa.
youngster in Alabama, start getting the football out and throw it around the backyard with Pop.
Mello?
That really still creeps me out, and that is not football.
Whoa, baby. Whoa. Slowly. Nothing is sacred to new Cleveland Browns owner Jimmy Haslam. Not even the Browns' classic uniforms. The Browns could be sporting new uniforms by 2014, Mello. The team has notified the NFL that they would like to explore the possibility of the uniform change. Mello, that's your team.
No, that's not football. No, don't do that.
Don't get rid of the dingy, them in Green Bay with their tried and true outfit.
Just leave things alone. We want things to stay the same. No changes. No.
I don't think either team has ever experimented with anything.
No, it
Like
could get
stripes.
worse. That's
Like-
what we're afraid of.
Like stripes. All right.
No.
Boston has set up a billboard saying, Ray's retirement party. And underneath the words, it has a countdown clock of the days, hours, and minutes until the party begins, which conveniently coincides with the game against the Patriots. Mello?
Oh, my gosh. That's freaking hilarious, but that is not football.
That's so mean. 49ers coach Jim Harbaugh during the wild card weekend had cards made to hang above each locker displaying the player's high school photo and ranking according to scouting services at that time. 35-year-old Randy Moss and 34-year-old guard Leonard Davis are the only players whose high school shots are in black and white. Mello?
Oh, my gosh. That's not football.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, and lastly, please let this in. Atlanta Falcons kicker Matt Bryant has emerged as one of the better place kickers in the league and possibly one of the strangest. I was watching the National Geographic Channel one day, and I heard them mimicking the mating sounds that bring in alligators. So I figured I'd try to mimic the sound. Sure enough, an alligator came up from a retention pond behind my Tampa Bay home. Mello?
That dude is a freak. That's not football.
That's a weird dude.
That is weird.
Oh, he's going to go Bigfooting next. I'm going Bigfooting. Oh, my goodness, man. Brent Musburger killed me. Whew, man. All right. Let's wash that down with a little bit of the rap sheet, shall we?
Uh-oh. Yeah.
Calling all cars. Be advised, we have NFL players on the loose.
Tennessee Titans receiver Kenny Britt reportedly met with New Jersey City Police Tuesday regarding an incident last weekend in which he allegedly drove a friend to the hospital after the man had been stabbed at a party. Mello, I think the Titans should just set up a meet and greet with Kenny Britt with all law enforcement. What do you think? Goodness. Former NFL quarterback Ryan Leaf has been moved from a drug treatment center to Montana State Prison for threatening a staff member and other unspecified behavioral problems at the center. That's just kind of sad how a leaf falls off the tree.
That is sad, man.
I mean, his career, and I hate to simplify it like this, but if you ask me, his career was just ruined by the draft. How he fell in the draft just ruined his whole life. I hate to say it like that because it makes it.
That's what appears happen.
It
really
does. Oh. A federal judge has dismissed Jonathan Vilma's defamation suit against NFL Commissioner Roger Goodell. And lastly, less than a week before the 2012 NFL Draft, former Nebraska cornerback Alfonso Denard was arrested on suspicion of third-degree assault on a police officer after he allegedly participated in a bar fight. Denard had to miss the Patriots practice on Wednesday because of pre-trial motions that took place in Nebraska. He has been charged with felony assault and 2 related misdemeanors.
Oof.
That's going to do it for the rap sheet. What would the NFL be if their players were under control? Probably
the CFL?
Baseball or something. I don't know. All right. Mello, anything before we make these dramatic picks here? These are going to be dramatic.
I'm still trying to recover from that. That's not football, dude. Oh, my chest hurts.
I'm going to be out 3 to 6 weeks with laughter because it's ridiculous. What transpires in the NFL is ultimately ridiculous. All right. It's go time, my friend.
It's time to pick 'em. Remember, picks are made for entertainment purposes only.
Yep. Your laughter is why we do these picks. All right. The 49ers, they're going to lay 4 points as they come all the way across country on the road at Atlanta. Boy, man, Atlanta, man, they gave up the ghost late and barely squeaked out last week. And the 49ers, man, they are cocky. The quarterback's running in the end zone, kissing his biceps. The coach is insane. But I think they're going to win this game, and I think they're going to hand it to Atlanta actually pretty good. So give me the 49ers minus the 4. Mello, who you got?
Yeah, sad as I am to say it, when Atlanta gave up the 20, that just scared me right off. I know they came back and won the game, but that's just ridiculous. You can't have lapses like this, and I hate to say it, but San Francisco sure does look pretty good, don't they?
Yeah, yes, they look unstoppable.
Yeah, I don't know who.
Nobody left to me.
Who's left to stop them, really? So I got to take them. I'll be rooting for Atlanta all the way. This is a game I'd love to get wrong, actually.
Yeah, me too. I would love to be wrong, but I just don't see anybody stopping them. And at New England, the Patriots, they're going to lay 9 points, large spread, to the Baltimore Ravens. So I think that New England's going to win this game, but I don't think they're going to win by more than 9 points. I think the Ravens, they have enough pride where they're going to bring it to the best of their ability. So give me Baltimore with the 9 points. That's a looming large. Who you got?
Yes, I've got the road team as well. 9 is just too much.
That's crazy.
I've seen Baltimore in too many games that were just ugly, hold you down, muck it up kind of games and stuff. There's no guarantee New England's going to be able to just put 40 on you. And if Baltimore sticks with this vertical deal, who can really stop that? If you're taking 5 or 6 shots down the field, you only got to hit on 1 or 2 of them, really, plus your regular offense. There's some points. And when they played before, didn't New England score on special teams a couple times? You can't count on that.
No. And people just get caught up in that. Well, the last time, this is what happened. And I try not to get caught up in that. So I think these should be some good games. I just hope that there's no blowouts because we've seen, New England will They have no trouble running the score up on people and all that.
You don't
stuff.
want that for a championship game. I mean, not that you're going to get a classic like we had last week with the double overtime. That's good football, but you just don't want to see a blowout. Not at this stage in the season. We only got 3 games left, so you'd want all 3 to be. In theory, they should all be quality games as we're culling the herd here.
Yes, and hopefully we see just some great competitive matchups. Not so much showboating this week, I hope, and just some good, clean football.
Good old-fashioned football.
All right. That's our picks against the spread. What do you guys think? Why don't you send them on in? TPRfans@yahoo.com. That's TPRFANS@yahoo.com. Or call us at +1 810 309-8445. Regular toll charges do apply. Mello, anything else you want to talk about before we wrap this show up?
Well, you went 2-2, with the dogs and favorites. It was a wash last week, so I don't know that you want to lean either way at this point. I don't see anything that I can really help anybody with the numbers. I think at this point you're going with your gut and your feel for the teams.
Yeah, and I think it's the big momentum, and let's hope travel does not play into anything this time. Folks, we also have a question for all of you guys. We've been covering the draft for how many years now, Mello? Like 6 seasons now?
Yeah.
Or 7. And we want to know, what do you guys want us to do this year? Do you guys want us to do interviews with other podcasters that cover specific teams? Try and get some of these former players or current players or coaching staffs or any of their people on the podcast and just do some mini episodes, put them up on YouTube and the site and such. Let us know. Chime in at the numbers that I'll play at the end of this episode and the email there. So we'd love to hear your feedback on all of that. But for Mello Betts, I'm Hank Davis. Until next time, my friends, we're going to sign off.
If you have comments or feedback, you can email the guys at tprfans@yahoo.com. That's TPRFANS@yahoo.com, or call the voicemail line at +1 810 309 8445.